watching the replay, so Merry Christmas. It's so good to see you all here, and I am all, you know, getting in the chill, getting in the relaxy bits. Oops, my little camera's not the right angle. I'll muck with that heaps. I've got a different stand today, so sorry about that. Oh, and my phone's not on silent, so let me just deal with that straight away. Go away noise bits. There we go. Hey Villic, how are you going? Good morning, Andrea. How are you all? Are you all getting ready for Christmas? We don't actually do much in the way of decorations here. We have the tree, we have a bit of tinsel. We tend to decorate ourselves more than anything else. So I've got my hat. I've got my Christmas shirt, well, a Christmas shirt. I own about 6 different Christmas shirts. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right, Villic. I'm tossing up between, is my dingly hat will bother me. So I have another option. Are you ready? Are you ready for the other option? It is extensive. Extensive, not really the right word I'm looking for. But hang on a second. I shall do this. Good morning, Ruby. Good morning, Kim. We're changing over from the dingly dangly bell to this one. Is that less distracting? Do you find that less distracting? Good morning, Gamer Widows. Oh, you're off to a Christmas party, lucky you. So do you find the dingly bell less distracting or the reindeer glasses with the nose? Good morning, Stacey. Oh, I got fluff in my mouth. That's great. So, I've been working less noisy. It is totally less noisy, for sure. I've been working on so many projects, mostly just things for myself because I'm still not cleared to dye yet. We'll just do a quick knee update. Quick knee update. We won't go into too much detail. I am cleared to start swimming. Can you see enough to craft with those? Oh, absolutely, yes. So the little nose is distracting you. Well, it's better than my big nose, right? So knee update is I had physio this week. They're happy with how I'm going. I'm cleared to go into the pool as of this weekend coming. I just needed a couple more days. I'm not cleared to dye yet. They're concerned about the weight of not so much the standing there and the dyeing, but the actual weight of moving the buckets around. They want me to wait until about another 4 weeks before I can start dyeing again. Tell you what, it's hard when your nose gets itchy because you've got to get in under the other nose. There we go. But everything's progressing along really nicely. I have no pain, which is really good. Every now and again it gets better. Actually, I say I have no pain. What I mean by that is when I'm not doing anything, I have no pain, which is novel for me. When I'm moving around and walking and stuff, if I've been going for too long, it starts to go, oi, you do recall that things only just happened. It's so exciting to hear you're healing well. Yeah, I'm totally excited that I'm healing. It's feeling really quite good, and so I'm pretty happy about the whole thing. So back to the crafty stuff. So I've been working on a few things. If you follow me over on Instagram, you'll see that I've been working on this interesting 2 at a time sock in a sock pattern thing, and it's been an interesting process. I've got it here. Hang on. So I'm up to the so the pattern gives you both a full size sock and a practice sock. So this is the practice sock. Sorry, it's all tangled up. This is what the practice sock looks like so far. I'm down to the toe decreases on here. Now, I love the concept. I really do, and I think it's really fun. My only issue is with the actual pattern itself, which I have to confess I'm a bit disappointed about because the designer of the pattern is someone who is amazing. Honestly, she's got hundreds of patterns under her belt. She works for Knitty. She's done craftsy classes, and the craftsy classes are fantastic. The thing I've noticed about this pattern is it makes me feel like I'm reading someone's class notes. So for such an intricate thing where you're doing a sock inside of a sock, so basically the goal is you knit this one circle, and at the end of it when you cast off, you pull a second sock out. So like I'll just do some jiggery pokery do hickory here. So far we're up to this. So there's 2 complete socks. So Kim's asking if there's a lot of assumptions, and I'm going to say yes, there are. And there's some things that I'm sure that if you were doing a class with this particular teacher and then you got up to this point, it would totally be the next logical conversation. And it feels very much like I'm reading some very well written but class notes. There's no pictures. There's no, okay, this is where we change, where you, oh, hi Emma, how you going? I got very Christmassy. Yeah, there's, we're just talking about the sock pattern, Emma. Emma's doing the same pattern as I am at the moment. And like, I completely agree doing, you know, not hand holding in your patterns. But this is taking that to a whole nother level, and it just really does feel like someone wrote some exceptionally good notes for a class, but then it planned to expound on it in the class. And so Abby's just spotted me. She's just come out of her bedroom. So here, hang on, I've just scrolled back a little bit. I'm confused doing, Andrea says, I'm confused doing one sock at a time. I couldn't imagine doing a sock within a sock. Emma's calling it the sock pattern from hell. Kim says, so more of a pattern shortcut than a full-blown tutorial size pattern. And Emma's written, for a tutorial, it should have pics and more hand-holding. I totally agree. I totally agree. And if it was a free pattern, I wouldn't be complaining at all, but it was not free. I think it came out to be like $8 Australian once you've added the GST and all the other bits and bobs onto it. In saying that, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to actually knitting a proper sock on it to give it a try. But I'm not 100% sold on it, to be honest. Were there links to secret videos? No, that's the thing. There's no links or anything. But when you read through the Ravelry notes of all the people who've done it, as far as I can tell, most of them are like, your class was awesome, this was awesome, all that sort of stuff. So I have a feeling that the pattern's not new. The pattern's been like, the last people to comment on it was 5 years ago. So what I think happens is people are buying the pattern, but not actually making it. Because yeah, I'm finding it perplexing, and I'm not an excellent knitter, an excellent sock knitter. I wouldn't even consider myself an experienced sock knitter. I've made a few pairs of socks, but I'm just really struggling with it, and so I'm going to keep going. I'll persevere, because that's what I do. I'm going to get a pair of socks out. I just got dust in my mouth. I'm sorry. Hang on. Yeah, so I'm going to get a pair of socks out of it eventually. But I just find the whole thing a little frustrating. You guys, I am going to take these glasses off because my nose is getting really hot. But they're really cute and I love them a lot. Good morning, Tammy. Emma says Knitty has a tutorial for it. But I think I think it's basically double knitting but with pain. Oh, it's totally double knitting with pain. But I think that if you're going to make it, like, I'll have to have a look at that tutorial on Knitty, but they should have linked that into the pattern. Kim says, I assume there are alternate stitches on your needles for each sock and you knit and slip each round so you're effective. No, that's actually not correct, Kim. There's instructions so that each round is a round for both socks at the same time. It's truly more like double knitting. So yeah, so it's very interesting. It's saying I have a bad connection, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. I can't do a lot about it. I am running on my cool office Wi-Fi that gives me a stronger signal, but hang on, it's not actually connected. So let's see what's going on here. All right, it's dropped me back onto the home network. I'm just going to switch back over to... Sorry guys, that would explain so much. Wi-Fi is 5G, that's good. Sorry about this. I hope this works this time. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you weren't all disconnected and what have you. It's still saying that I'm getting a bad connection. I don't understand. You're fine on this end. Oh, that's good. So you alternate colours. All right, hi. A bit hot. I've got the aircon on, which, you know, is good. Good morning, Joss. And if I could bring this around anymore, I would. I'm holding my internet. I can see you, but it's not any clearer than before. No, it's pretty much par for the course, I'm afraid. Sorry. So what else am I working on? I'm working on a double knit, a Fair Isle hat with some interesting motifs on them, which I can't really go into because the person it's for may or may not see something as unlikely, very unlikely, but possible, so I won't go into. Let me see, I want to come tonight, but got taekwondo with Grace. School holidays started yesterday for us. I'm already over my kid. Oh, jeez. Yeah, can't Jay take Grace? There you go. That's a good option, isn't it? I'll be taking Abby with me to Caffeinated Crafters. Didn't you always tell us what was on that hat last week? Look, I may well have, but Abby's doing a dance. She's just realised because I hadn't told her. I may well have, but I'm not gonna, you know, compound it. But that's going along really well, and I'm really happy with that. And I'm still working on my crochet rug, which I have here as my live stream project. Now, what I did. Where did the video from your backyard go? I have no idea. I have no idea where it went. I'll be really honest. One minute it was there, the next minute it was gone, and because it was a live stream, I don't have a copy of it anywhere. It is just officially gone. I don't know if I accidentally deleted it. I don't think I did. But, oh, Abby's got me more Christmas things. Woohoo! Christmas hat. Like, we're just going to go through all our Christmas stuff. There we go. I need some fringe. There we go. That's better. I love Christmas hats. I love all Christmas things. Mind you, I don't decorate my house. So, you know. But yeah, so I'm still working on this. I realised that last week when I joined on that hot pink that I had, I realised I was actually due to join green on. So I've had to pull all that out and just, you know, I'm joining the green now. So, yeah. But we've had some fun here. I'm not going to go into too many details because it might make people sick. But let's just say something got stuck in my air conditioner. It took the air conditioning company some time to come out and repair it. They are a champion, but it was not nice here in the heat, in the Australian heat for some time. Oh my goodness. So my phone's ringing. I'm going to ignore it. So, well, they can call. I just yelled out. They're just going to call back again, and they can do that. Okay, so I've caught my tail. Get out of the way.
I'll get it.
No, just let it go, Abby. She's there singing to the music. So I just want to see if I can tilt this down just a little bit. I hope the aircon was working. No, it wasn't. It was completely not working. Yeah, it was completely done. It was dead. And it wasn't a bad thing because the smell it was blowing out was also death. No, that's not going to work. This is not fun. There we go. That might stay. I put my crochet hook down. What did I do with it? Oh, this is clever. I'm full of smarts. There it is. Got it. Yeah, so it was the smell that it was blowing out when you opened the vent, and it wasn't even blowing air. It was just not good. Not good. All fixed now, though, thank goodness, because it's been really hot here for the last few days. So being able to put it back on has been really, really good. It's saying that, you know, we've got air cons in some other rooms of the house. They're much, much smaller machines, and they're really only meant for that sort of thing. Here we go. I have to go to work for a little bit, but I'll be back in half an hour, hopefully. Good luck, Joss. Kim says, we're coping with just the fans at the moment, but I expect aircon by lunchtime. See, this is the thing for me, and it depends on everyone's individual air conditioning units. But if I think it's going to be hot at lunchtime, I put the air cons on in the morning, because it takes a lot less effort for your aircon to maintain a temperature than to try and get your house down from 37 degrees down to your 24. And that, to me, it pumps a lot more and it actually costs a lot more to run. There you go. That's my logic on running air conditioners at summer in Australia. Stick them on when it's early in the morning so they can slowly keep the temperature cool rather than trying to bring down the heat. So I've been doing that. I've been shopping and all sorts of things. Kim says we only have the aircon in one room. Yeah, we used to as well. We used to just have the one in the lounge room, and you're locked out. You close all the other doors so that it doesn't escape that single room.
It's too early for logic, Mum.
Abby says it's too early for logic because she's actually coming out of her bedroom. She's in her pajamas, and she's just
In her glasses.
she's just really. She's awake. She's awake. Andrew says I normally hold off as long as possible. And Kim says we only use ours on dehumidify rather than cool. No, I definitely like the cool. Kim's yelled out, no PJs on YouTube. It's alright, Abby knows no PJs on YouTube. So someone's commenting on things over on Facebook, but I can't actually respond to those at the moment, so I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. So what have you guys got all planned? Like we're going down to my mum's house for the day for Christmas, and that's about it. So what about you guys? Are you guys up to fun things, or have you got family coming to your house? Are you doing the big cook up? I'm just making the obligatory potato salad.
And trifle.
Since when was I making trifle?
Of one trifle.
Oh, apparently I'm making trifle as well.
You got
Says she with kids who streak past the open front door at bath time. That's hilarious. Andrew says my kids would still be in their PJs, but I was a mean mum and made them come with me to Coles at 8 a.m. I've been doing this thing to Abby this week where, because she is not wanting to get out of bed before 10 or 11 o'clock, which, you know, I've actually no problems with. I've been like, wake up, I need you to listen to my words. I am going out for 1 hour and I will be, and like, what am I doing? And make her repeat it back so that she knows that if she does wake up, she doesn't freak out that I'm not here, because she's old enough to be left at home for just little whiles through the day. The Gamer Widows is going to be at the in-laws 5 minutes away, and my parents and brother will be staying with you. That's going to be big. That's hardcore having people stay over at Christmas, I think. We did that one year. We had
2 years.
Was it 2 years? Well, a couple of years ago, for a couple of years, we had everyone coming here. So that was we had about 40 people, including kids, coming, and a lot of them camped in the yard as well. So we had 40 people here for 3 or 4 days. And they'd sort of come in, like, you wouldn't have all 40 for 4 days, but you'd have 20 for the couple of days before Christmas, and then a different 20 after. Kim says the Outlaws are coming here for Christmas Day. We're going to my mum's for Boxing Day. Oh, that's really nice. It's good when you can split it up like that, I think. We've done the Outlaws. We did them last weekend because they are luckily going on a cruise. They're going, I can't remember where they're going, but they're really excited about it.
New Guinea.
Is it New Guinea? Wow. Yeah, they're super excited about it. So having them go away on a cruise meant we had to sort of do our Christmas with them a little bit early, which was totally fine. Folks live 4 hours away and will be in the Winnebago in the driveway. Brother lives an hour away, may end up on the floor or drive home. I totally get that. Casey says, my sisters for lunch and in-laws for afternoon swim and dinner. Wow, that's big when you do it all on one day.
Afternoon swim.
I remember I had a friend who had her parents were divorced and then remarried with more kids, and so she had to do breakfast with one lot and then lunch with another lot, and then she'd come and hang out with us for dinner. It's so much to try and travel backward and forth. It totally is. Oh, especially when you are suffering from food coma. That's so right, isn't it? You're like, or you've got to be like, no, I can't have any brandy pudding, or no, I can't do this because I've got to drive and I've got to drive. And, you know, it's you know, it's not bad to make those decisions by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, sometimes you just want to relax and you can't because you've got to get home. So, now I've decided, I was having a think about it over the last couple of days, and I'm going to be shutting down everything just for 1 week next week. So it'll be Christmas. We won't do a live stream on the Thursday, but we will be back the Thursday after. And hopefully I will have the YouTube set built by then and be able to have a tutorial very soon, or an unboxing or something. So something a bit different for everybody, because it's been a long while. Now that I'm able to move around a bit more, I'm allowed to lift lighter things. So while I may not be able to die yet, because that's lifting very heavy things, there's some lighter things that I'm going to be able to move, which is great. Game Widow says Operation Biscuit Baking will be starting tomorrow. Shortbread, almond crescents, clementines, choc chip, gingerbread, stained glass windows. The cake has to be baked as well at some point. Oh my gosh! The year that I had all the people here, it's just insane. Kim says a Things I Love video. Really? Is that the first one? Is that the first thing back that you want? Is a Stuff I Love video?
Yeah.
Abby's like, yeah.
What?
So it's insane when there's so much work to do for Christmas, isn't it? Kim's calling dibs on the almond crescents. Kim, I have a feeling you're not getting any. None of us are. I have a feeling that Gamer Widows is feeding an army. So she needs all the things. I've got to make... So what am I making, Abby? I'm making potato salad, trifle, white Christmas, and there was something else. I should have written a list, right? My brother gets a box of biscuits for Christmas every year, and so do the neighbours. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I used to, a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, I used to make up like all jars of jam and biscotti and lemon butter and all sorts of things like that, and make up like gift bags for my mum and my neighbours and stuff like that. But I just haven't had much time for jam making lately. So, and lemon butter. Oh, my lemon tree has not been well. Like it's producing lemons, but they're not great. So I really need to get in there with some lemon food, like citrus tree food and all that sort of stuff, and make it a happy tree again. Give it a prune. But you know, that involves getting there. How close do people have to live to be considered neighbours?
Next door. Next door or down to the...
I would say further than, like, not as far as you're hoping. Not as far as you're hoping, Kim. Oh, Georgie's running around. So poor old George did something to his paw. We're not quite sure what. He seemed less ginger on it today, but for a couple of days was absolutely zero. There was much of this going on where he was walking around and letting it just hold it up high and let it flop. Gotta go. See you later, Gamer Widows. Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you beforehand. So I hope you have a wonderful day with your family. Yeah, so it's you know, Crochet Clock is here. Hello, Stephanie. You didn't get an alarm again. Oh, this is ridiculous. This is the point of having the ding bell, isn't it? That you get the alarm. I don't understand. I'm going to have to look into it. I might even ask Roberto if he's heard of it happening before. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Did Abby get any chocolate crackle puddings? She had one. I ate the majority of them. Tim had a couple, but yeah, really they were mine, so I wasn't sharing. So, yeah. But thank you. They were delicious. And my flowers lasted a really long time as well. Crochet Clock says, I just clicked it off and clicked it back on again. Let's hope this fixes it. I hope so too. So the other people here in the live chat, do you get the notification that I'm going live, or do you just jump in and check? I've got a phone call from Samsung, which it can go to voicemail. Sorry, dudes. But yeah, so it's one of those things where I'm not sure if it's happening for everybody, or if it's happening just for Crochet Clock. So if you could all let me know in the chat, that would be great. If you get the notification that I'm going live, or if you're just or if you're just, you know. Kim says, I got a notification on my phone. You need to have the settings turned on in the iOS as well as in YouTube, assuming you're using an iPhone. I have no idea what Stephanie's using.
Use an iPhone.
I don't use an iPhone, but I don't know what Stephanie's using. But yeah, just double check all the settings through everywhere. So, well, at least I know notifications are going out to some people. So Stacey gets a message on her phone. Last week it wasn't just me, and I used to get the notices on my iPhone, but for some reason it stopped last week. I don't know. I really just don't know. It's weird. It's always crazy about how this stuff works. And I actually don't really understand it very well. It's like YouTube magic. Hang on a second, what was that one? I get a bing on my phone, not on my computer. Regardless, I'm here now. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Stephanie. But yeah, so I will put some announcements out on the social medias and on the website as well, that after Friday on the website, no orders will be posted until the Monday after Christmas, that one, whatever that one is, that date, which I'll have to have a look at. And then, but I'll leave it all open, but I'll just have big notices that there'll be no postage happening. And then no YouTube, no live next Thursday. And what else? I've got to cancel. I'm going to move a couple of things around. I'll tell you why. Do you know why? Because I want to have just a little break. And I really, 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 really want to get my sewing machine out. And I know that if I have to keep going to the office and doing other things, I'm just not going to do it. And I really, really want to do it. Ruby says YouTube is stuffing up for a lot of people and the YouTubers themselves lately, if that makes you feel any better. Oh, yeah. YouTube is changing a lot of things, trying to make things safer, especially for kids on YouTube, and also for advertisers. And yeah, it's been making life pretty hard for a lot of people. I'm pretty lucky. It doesn't normally affect me too badly, except for the whole, not being allowed to live stream thing, because anyway, won't go into that. Merry Christmas, Nerdy Stitcher. Kim says, I bought myself an overlocker for the family to give me for Christmas. I love that. I just bought this thing. You guys can wrap it up and give it to me later. Yeah, except that one time. That's right. And they fixed it up. I still never received an email about that. Nothing. It was community strike. And then, and like with the 90-day ban on live streaming, and then by the next week, it was lifted with no, sorry about that, no, this is why we thought it was the case. So I just have to really hope that everything's good every time, because I have no idea what I did wrong, which is so crazy. Honestly, it's just so crazy. And I don't know what happened to that garden video. I don't know why it's gone. It's just gone. But there's no community strikes or anything like that. So if YouTube had deleted it, there would have been a reason for it. But I don't recall deleting it, but I may well have done it by accident. Because that happens. Not deleting stuff, but I do things like, I was in a chat and I accidentally hit a thumbs up on on Facebook, how you can now make emoji faces on the bottom of someone's post, and I accidentally hit a thumbs up on a really not thumbs up worthy post. I have no idea how to get rid of it. I just had to write a message I'm sorry, I thumbs up this post, didn't mean to, and I don't know how to get rid of it. But yeah, so I'm I've really got to watch what I do, especially on my phone, because I use it so much. If there's another app open, it can really, really muck up. Coffee time. What is everybody drinking today? Is it just me on the coffees, or is someone else drinking coffee today? And what time is it for everybody? Are we all in Brisbane today?
10:30.
That's a good coffee. When you make yourself that good coffee and really happy with it. It's very easy to tap on your phone and not even notice. Absolutely. That's definitely the truth. What have you done there, Abby?
I edited it.
Oh. Abby's edited herself into being
Abby?
What is that, a bear?
No, I changed the colour on the background.
Coffee with marshmallows. Really? Coffee with marshmallows? Andrew says, I forgot to get my coffee. And Nerdy Stitcher says she wishes she had really nice coffee. Yeah. I quite often make myself bad coffee and still drink it. Because I don't want to waste it. Nerdy Stitcher says, I had tea instead of coffee the other day. Casey here says late. I don't know what you're late for.
Maybe it's late for the live stream.
No, she's messaged before. Kim says, I just finished my coffee, but I think I need something cooler as well. It's a bit like that. Oh, latte. Sorry, Casey. I finished, but I need something cooler. Yeah, I've been going heavy on the water. Nerdy says I'm in a really bad mood. Oh, really? Gosh. Well, I hope, you've got your stitching out and you're doing something where you can just sort of relax for 5 minutes. Or an hour and a half. Kim wants to know why Nerdy Stitch is in a bad mood. This may not be good.
But.
No, Abby, don't be silly. You should rage clean. Oh my gosh. See, I procrasticraft so that I don't actually have to clean. Oh dear. Oops, I dropped my stitchy bits. There we go. All good, nothing to see here. Yeah, so I have a question for you all. I have very, very, very strong opinions on Trifle. On what should be in Trifle, what absolutely should not ever be in Trifle, and if you put it in it, I do not consider it Trifle any longer. And I'm beginning to realize that my opinions, while they're very strong and make for an excellent Trifle, don't seem to be the standard anymore. They don't seem to be the norm, and it bothers me. I rage crushed saltiness. I love that. Someone said they rage cleaned yesterday. Andrea says she rage cleaned yesterday. It was good for my angry mood. Stacy says no fruit. Really, like zero fruit.
No.
I don't put any dried fruit in it. But I do put sliced peaches in there. But considering the ratios, it's not that much. It's 2 tins of sliced peaches, but I make like Trifle that's this big with like 20 layers. So if you get a bowl and manage to get yourself a peach, you're pretty lucky. I baked a casserole with crushed saltines and a butter topping. So I've heard of saltines. What are they? Like, do we have anything similar here, or do we have saltines here? I don't know. They make me think of premiums. I like Eaton's Mess, which is like trifle with meringue instead of sponge cake. Oh yeah, I like Eaton's Mess too. No hundreds and thousands on top. Yes, absolutely no hundreds and thousands on top. It's the crackers you eat with soup. I don't eat soup with crackers.
Yeah, you do. You ate it at the Outfits.
That was soup with bread. That wasn't crackers.
Yeah, but you can have crackers like that.
Okay, so this is my feels on if you're going to go to the effort and make a proper trifle, right? Now, there's quickie ways, I'm sure, but I don't do a quickie trifle. I make a double egg custard so that the custard actually, when you pour it in and once it chills, it sets. I use whipped cream on the top and sometimes a couple of cherries, depending if I've got some. But no, I will confess that on occasions I'll put something on the top of one because I go hardcore on the brandy or on the sponge. So I put a layer of chopped up white vanilla sponge in the bottom and like all up the sides. Well, not all up the sides, but up the sides halfway. And then I go hardcore, like drown that in brandy or sherry. So it gets so it's moist. It's not dripping, but it is moist. And then I add on some tinned peaches and then I add on red or orange jelly. Never green. No green jelly ever belongs in a trifle ever. If you only have green jelly, then you can't make a trifle. It's that simple. So orange or red jelly, and then I put on some custard, and then I do it again. So fruit, jelly, custard, fruit, jelly, custard, and I do that for a couple of layers. And then on the top, I pour in whatever's left of the custard, and then I make a cream seal and then throw it in the fridge. And then it all sets. And then when you get in there with a ladle and you scoop it down, you can get like a cross section of everything and plop it on your plate, and it holds it safe. But if you do green jelly and cherries, it's Christmas colours, but it tastes horrible. Like, horrible. I buy mini jam rolls and slice them in a line the bowl with them.
That's not trifle.
No.
That's just gross.
I then make layers of custard and jelly and top with whipped cream, no fruit. I understand. I don't use maraschino cherries, yuck, yuck, yuck. I use fresh cherries, like just a couple with their little stems. They're just decorative. Yes, I'm no fan of maraschino cherries, except I'm sour them to make a tort. Where I come from, a trifle dessert is sponge cake, blueberries and strawberries sliced up and mixed with sugar, layered with whipped cream. There you go. That's a different one again. I like the idea of the blueberries layered with whipped cream. Yeah, and that's the thing. You need whipped cream, but I think because I think mine is more of an English trifle, and so we've got to have the custard. You've got to have custard for an English trifle. But yeah, so like I said, I have very strong opinions about trifle and rules. With the kids one, rather than brandy, I will sprinkle on some sort of fruit juice or something, because you want the moisture, you want the sponge to be a bit softer. Nerdy Stitcher says her dog came to visit, so that's good. Andrew says, I prefer tiramisu. Oh my god, yes, tiramisu. How nice is that? I don't make it for Christmas, but I do love it very much. Very, very much. And I think it's that similar idea where the cake is softened with the ingredients, so when you get it, everything's good. I make this other thing every now and again, which is just evil and bad. And basically it's, you get ginger nut cookies. Yeah, the spicy ginger cookies, ginger nut cookies. Quickly dip them in a bit of brandy, swatch a bit of cream on it, and then you make a log, right? So you put a little smear of cream on your serving tray, and then you dip your ginger nut cookie in the brandy, like literally dip, pull out, pop on a bit of cream, stand it up. Next cookie, dip, pull it out, and it's like you're making a laid down brick wall with it. Then once that's all done, and you use like an entire packet of ginger nut cookies, then you put cream over the entire top of it and throw it in the fridge. Like you wrap it and put it in the fridge. When you go to eat it, preferably at least a few hours later, normally the next day, when you slice it, the ginger nut cookies are soft, and they're just like a spicy, and they're nearly as creamy as the cream. And so it's very not good for you. It's totally not good for you, but it's really spicy, and you've got that hit of brandy, and you've got the hit of ginger, and it's very nice. Like a chocolate ripple cake with ginger nuts. I don't know what a chocolate ripple cake is. I'll have to have a look what that is. But yeah, so then we have White Christmas that we make, which I do not make. I make it the old way with Kofa rather than the new way with white chocolate. I'm not saying the white chocolate way is bad. It's just everyone likes the one I already make. So there's rules. Like my potato salad, I can't turn up to a family do without it. I would basically be sent home to get it. One time, we were driving from here to Toowoomba, which is about an hour and 40. We got about halfway there and realised we didn't have it. And we had to do a U-turn and come home and get it because we'd left it in the fridge. So we had to come back to get it. So, and it's not a difficult potato salad by any means. Oh my god, you don't know what a chocolate ripple cake is. I'm going to have to make you one. Okay. That's fine. We should have a little get together over at Fiberific HQ sometime and have coffees and cake. But I know, I totally understand that my trifle opinions are very divisive. What's in my potato salad? Potatoes, eggs, and mayonnaise. Like, I'm not kidding. I mean, I've got specific potatoes that I like to use, and a specific mayonnaise. Oh, Abby just Googled a chocolate ripple cake, and yes, it's very similar.
It just has lines in it.
Yeah. But I use a specific potato, and I dice it a specific way, and I cook them a specific amount, and then I use fresh chook eggs, so they're really rich. No bacon, no. And then I use the fresh chook eggs, and it's like for a 2 kilo bag of potatoes, there's a dozen eggs. And then while it's all still warm, then I actually add all the mayonnaise and everything and let it soak into the potato. And that's it. It's not difficult. I've taught it to my nieces. They just don't want to make it, and everyone eats it, and I have to make 4 kilos with 2 dozen eggs batches when I make it for when we do big family get-togethers, because there's a lot of us. Add bacon that's been cooked so it's crunchy. If I tried to add anything, one year I tried to change up the recipe, and I'm not kidding, there was a riot. There was like, what'd you do to the potato salad? Oh my God. We add bacon and onions. Yeah, I love onions and stuff in potatoes, and bacon in potato salad as well, but I'm not allowed to touch the family recipe because I'll get in trouble. Because I will never get over the year that I changed the recipe. It was very bad, let me tell you. I was trying to be healthier, and I was trying to give them a healthy option, and I had white potato and sweet potato, and it was still all creamy and stuff. It was delicious, actually. And even my mum, who was like one of the most riotous about the changes, said it's very good and it's very nice, but it's not your potato salad. I make 2 potato salads. One has chorizo, sour cream, and cedar mustard. The other one is like yours, but with bacon. Crochet O'Clock says, mine is potato, eggs, diced up dill pickles, bacon, onions, salt, and pepper, and a little bit of garlic with mayo and a smidge of mustard. I would totally eat both of those, you guys. Nerdy Stitcher says, split the dogs down the center and put a slice of cheese in it, then wrap the dog in a slice of bacon and put them in the oven. Oh, that sounds delicious. Dog? That's a hot dog. Not actually a dog, Abby. She's not killing puppies for Christmas. Because that would, I would have to say bad. My potato salad has to have pickles. Yes, I've had gherkins in potato salad before, and I like that. But yeah, it's she's written wiener, so she means like the hot dogs, yeah. The hot dog sausages. And this week on Food Network, I know it's a bit like that, isn't it? Sorry, guys. I'm crafting at the same time, but Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. Okay, what is your go-to family beverage that's friendly for kids to make for Christmas? Do you make like a big punch or something like that? How to ruin Christmas. Abby says cordial. No. Yeah. But yeah, so who has like a go-to Christmas beverage that's suitable for small people as well? Hot cocoa for you guys? Well, I should point out, like, that's awesome because I love hot cocoa. But here it's about what are we expecting temperature-wise at Mum's for Christmas Day? Yeah. Is it about 35?
No, like about 39.
I don't think it's going to be 39. Well, anyway, we're going to be having high 30 degrees. So can someone chuck in the chat what that's going to be in Fahrenheit for everybody? Lachlan got his braces on Tuesday. Fantastic. That will be fun.
It hurts for a little bit.
And Abby got her glasses this week, so she's happy as well. Actually, she's getting used to them. Nerdy wrote, it's about 100 F. Raspberry lemonade. That sounds delicious. Casey does a big can of Golden Circle fruit punch, juice, bottle of lemonade, bottle of ginger ale. Yep, that's what we do. And a can of fruit salad. And we actually, also in like old ice cream buckets, we'll freeze a bottle of lemonade as well, and just have that floating in the water so that when it melts, it doesn't water down the punch. Because it will melt, and it also keeps it topped up because kids go through ridiculous amounts of it. Kids have juice, we have vodka and orange. That works. That totally works. I'm going to confess something here right now. Are you ready? I drink vodka. I drink it mixed with all sorts of stuff. I've actually never had vodka and orange. I should probably try that, because that would be the easiest thing ever. Do you know what else I'm missing? I've run out of gin and I need some more gin. So I've got like I've got a massive sort of thing of limes happening at the moment, and no gin. I might need something stronger than juice while the Outlaws are here. Well, that's the thing. If you can make up something like that big golden circle punch, it's so easy for you to put yours in a cup and then just add vodka or something to it if you need to. Whereas I do try to keep whatever's handy kid friendly, because we have a lot of kids. 39 degrees is exactly 102.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you, Ruby. Crochet Clock says, I make a Sarasota punch for my gatherings when it's hot and just omit the Moscato for the kids batch. I'll have to have a look at that. So the mail truck never showed yesterday. It came today. We got junk mail and basically nothing else. Oh. Okay. Why would I dilute my vodka like that? Fair enough. Nerdy, if you're waiting for your parcel from me, it hasn't left yet. If that's what you're waiting on. I haven't been able to get that one out. I was pretty mad. What, were you waiting on some other stuff? Can you ask me a yarn question? Oh my gosh, what do you think this is? Of course you can. Ask a yarn question. Oh, it's very quiet. What's your yarn question? Oh no, not waiting on anything, but just 2 days and just junk mail. Oh, especially when you're like you see him pull up and you're like, oh, what can it be? Because yeah, that totally would be fun to see. I've heard a lot of vegans say that acrylic yarn isn't vegan friendly, but isn't acrylic yarn just petroleum based? Okay, so while it's technically not an animal product like wool is, a lot of vegans also look at more than just whether it's animal based. Their whole credos is about protecting the earth and that kind of thing, as far as I can tell. And so in that side of veganism, then it's totally correct. They don't just look at whether or not something is animal based. But in saying that, personally, I think it's all a massive, I don't agree with it. Because if you don't shear sheep that are meant to be sheared, then you're doing damage to those animals. Now, admittedly, you want to watch how you do it, because there are ways it can hurt the sheep. But as long as you're shearing in a situation that's not hurting the sheep, then it's actually benefiting the sheep that they're sheared. I personally think that cotton and any of those timber fibers like bamboo and tencel, if you're looking at things from an environmental perspective, those things just are so destructive to the environment. Now, in saying that, I love cotton and I use cotton all the time, but it is totally, especially Australian cotton, it's totally devastating to the local environment. And if you are getting things like tencel and those other sort of, and bamboo is amazing as a timber product. It is low impact on the earth as a timber product. But bamboo is bad for the environment as a fiber product because of the chemicals that they have to use to pulp it and to extrude it into fibers. And I think if people look at not just how something is grown, but how it is actually manufactured after that point. So bamboo itself is a fantastic timber product, but as a yarn or fiber product, it's more destructive to the environment than cotton because of the amount of chemical and the chemical waste. And in the countries that actually tend to make the bamboo yarns, like China, like Turkey, they don't have the same environmental impact sort of reports done as other countries like Australia, New Zealand and the US. So this is where so I'm just getting my soapbox out. So it's one of those things that's just crazy. It's just, if you look at how something is created and why it's created and all the steps of its creation, then actually most smaller scale sheep farms are good. Nerdy has written, is 900 USD too much to take to a fibre festival? No, it's not. Not at all. It's not too much to take. What are you planning on buying? If you want to buy a wheel or something, you might even need more. And wouldn't you rather have a bit of extra cash than get there and see something absolutely stunning and amazing that you want and have to miss out because you didn't have the cash? I'm planning on going to a fibre festival in June, but I can't decide how much money to save. You save as much as you can, because you can always bring it home. You don't have to spend it all there. You might get there. I've been to places where I've taken like thousands of dollars to spend, and then they didn't have anything I wanted and I brought it all home. I've totally done that before. Keep in mind, a lot of stuff at the fibre festivals are one of a kind. That's right. I don't think they sell wheels, but they sell spindles. Yes, totally. And make sure when you're going to get a spindle, test it yourself and double check to see if it is centre. But yeah, you may come home with having not found something that you loved. So don't feel like you just have to buy something because you were there. Make sure it's something that you like, because, you know, it's your money and money's hard to save. So, you know, you got to get something you love. Wow, this, like usual, our chats have jumped around to all different topics, haven't they? I love the enabling. Anytime. If you want to be enabled in anything that's craft related, I'm your girl. Honestly, I will help you spend your money on all the fun things. I went to a fabric craft show with some friends, and at that stage I wasn't sewing at all, and I helped them all buy lots and lots of things, even though I bought nothing. It will take me from January to June plus my birthday budget. Well, I mean, the thing is, you can always, like, you get there, you may spend it all, you might find absolutely stunning, gorgeous things that you can't live without. Awesome. Or you may come home and put that money towards something that you can buy online. Like, you might be like, well, I wanted this thing, but there was none there that I liked, but there's this really beautiful spindle on it, see? So, you know, you'll have the money there that you can use later. So that's my theory. That's what I do. I save as much as I can to take, with the intention of only buying things I like, and then if I can't, I don't, and I buy it somewhere else later. Or I just put it back in and save it for something else, save it for another trip. It's really a very easy way to spend $200 to $300. Marie says, hi from Florida. Hi, Marie. I didn't realize that you were live. I am totally live. We are noticing that not everybody is getting their live notifications, so I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to have a little look into it. It's going to be torture not spending money for 5 to 6 months. Yes. In June in the US, are you going to Rhinebeck? That's my question. Because if you're going to Rhinebeck, then you will totally find something to spend your money on, because there's so many amazing things and I really want to go, but it's just so far away from me. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's one of those things that I really desperately want to do. It's the Esther's Fibre Festival. I haven't heard of that one. I shall have to Google it and check it out. Has any of you been to Rhinebeck, for a question? I understand, Nerdy. I'm forcing myself not to buy anything unless I desperately need it because I'm going home in the spring. Well, that's fantastic. They have sheep, alpaca, goats. Oh, nice mohair is good. I like second clip mohair, not kid mohair. Just throwing that out there. Totally worth it when you have enough money to buy whatever you want at the festival. Marie says, I love seeing you and your daughter. I'd love a Rhinebeck trip too. I know, isn't it? It's one of those things. I would totally love to go to Rhinebeck one year. I'm sure I would freeze because I'm not used to cold climates. But I think it would be worth it. Yes, I don't want to see something awesome I normally couldn't afford. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Because you do. And the other thing is you get to see a lot of stuff you didn't know existed. And that's the other thing as well. You'll be like, that wasn't even on your radar, but now that you've seen it, you totally want it. I guess I do have my super duper warm jacket, which I love to pieces. So I'm very lucky about that, and it will keep me mostly warm. Marie says it's someday on her bucket list. Yeah, you're a smidge closer to Rhinebeck than I am, Marie. So you should totally do it. I know it's the other side of the country, but it's just the other side of the country that you currently live in. So, you know, like, do it. Save up, plan it and do it. That's what I say. Plan it and do it. So yeah, so I'm still in the, I don't know if I can, you know, survive a flight all the way from Australia to New York. So I'm sure I could, but it's a bit stressful. I'm not a big fan of planes. I don't mind short hops. Kim says if you don't need a passport, there's no excuse. Do you know what? Even if you do need a passport, I've done it 6 times. You can do it. Oh gosh, I don't know about that. Nerdy says the Fiber Fest is an hour and a half drive from her house. That's brilliant. That's so good. Because that means if you fill your car, you can run home and drop it off and go back the next day. Listen to me, like, fill your car. But the other thing is that sometimes it's just not worth, what was I going to say?
I don't know what you want.
Sometimes you have to be careful because you might think, what a bargain, that's brilliant. But is it, and like it's like a massive 10 kilo bag of mohair or something. But you've got to think, do you really need 10 kilos of mohair? And sometimes you need to have those things in your head. Like you need to have that pre-thought out. Like if there's a massive deal on mohair, do I need it? And believe me, I know what a 5 kilo bag of mohair looks like and how long it took me to get through it. So, yeah. And mohair, even when it's dirty, it scours up so beautifully, for the most part. Some more so than others. So it's like fleece. They're not all created equal. But a nice second clip of a good grade mohair is lovely. That's exactly right, Vanessa. Is the mohair usable? Because if it's all short clips and rubbish bits, you don't want that. Nerdy says, unfortunately, I can't drive, so I'm reliant on my husband. Well, I mean, that means you've got like less space in the car because you've got a driver. So he just has to understand that he is the taxi driver. And he may need to buzz home to empty the car for you. I know. Don't worry, I'm being silly. I totally understand the realisticness, the reality of being reliant on somebody else. But yeah, so it's Fiber festivals are so fun. You guys have totally got that. You guys in Australia totally have to do Bendigo. What? Another knitter said, told me I should take my kids there. She took... No! Don't take your kids. Because then you have to be the mum. You don't get to be the kid. You know, like... I mean, sure they'd probably like it. But would you be able to be as excited and free with your purchases and your... and running around and looking at the stuff you want to look at if you've got the kids there? I know for me, I wouldn't be able to. My husband will wrangle our kids while I dash for the market. Okay, fair enough. Abby's never actually been to Bendigo, and I've been like 6 times. We have no family nearby, so it makes it difficult. Totally understand. I totally understand. Crochet Clock says it's only 5.5 hours drive from her. Well then, that's no excuse. You need to get in your car and you guys should meet up for sure. They will be 5 and 7. Oh, they will like the livestock for sure. See, look at this, you girls. Don't forget to sort it all out. You guys can talk to each other outside of here, right? You've worked out how to do that? Like, you've messaged each other and stuff before, is that right? I don't know. I have no idea. But you should totally do it and meet up for a cuppa or something while you're there. Oops, I got a little knot in my yarn. Hang on. If you could see the state of this ball that I'm working at, you would laugh. Oh no, you're going to be away that weekend. You'll be at the beach. Well, I mean, that's not terrible. That's not a terrible reason to miss it. How often as it is? That's my family vacation week. I'll be in Florida. Oh, that's a shame. It's always awkward when things don't just pan out the way you want them, isn't it? George, seriously, can you stop licking your leg? It sounds really gross. It's just like... drives me out the wall. And he does it all the time. It's his thing. Grandbabies trump yarn. Yep. I'm sorry, but you're right. They do. For sure. Rats, that could have been cool to meet YouTubers. Well, you guys can try and arrange another time. You know, like... I'm sure that's... I mean, it may be the only fibre festival in your area, but it, like, there's a coffee shop, right? Somewhere between the two of you that you could meet up. Some big mall or something that you guys could hang out at where there's a nice fun yarn store or something. I don't know. I know nothing. I'm meeting up with someone next week that I've never met before, so that should be fun. It's going to be very interesting. Abby's going to come with us as well. We're going to have lunch and catch up.
11:30 until 2. That's like 3 hours of trip.
Yep. Notice did you say squee? I can't wait for June. I bet you can't. Kim says we have ladies that drive 2 hours every few months to catch up. That's like,
that's dedication.
Tammy, who comes to Caffeinated Crafters, she doesn't live local. She's got a long way to get home that she comes every time we meet. It's amazing. It's such dedication. Crochet Clock says, the next time I go to work at my brother's bar in Sturgis, I'll make sure I get in touch with you, Nerdy, because I do drive through Denver. Oh, that's awesome. The first time the husbands were, are you sure there aren't axe murderers? Like, what does your husband have against an axe murderer, honestly? I mean, do they still crochet? Because axe murderers could crochet as well. People could have more than one hobby, you know. Oh dear. I don't even know how long it takes me to do a single round on this blanket anymore. This is the blanket that never ends. Are you guys sick of seeing me post progress shots in my Instagram feed? Because honestly, I'm a bit over posting about it. The next shot I put in Instagram, it's going to be like, it is done. What's it? Hang on. Nerdy says I started going to a knitting club, and Crochet Clock says I wish I had people to gather with in my little town to crochet with. Kim says it'd be useful to have some axe murderers in my contacts. I don't know about hysterical Marie. Marie reckons I'm hysterical. I completely depend on this weekly chat and Facebook groups for my community fix. You know, that's one of the things. I was messaging with somebody, I can't remember, someone last week, and they were talking about how disappointed that they were that there was no local groups in their area. And I said, well, for a start, can you make one? Is there people around that would come if someone else did the work and set it up? And they were a bit like, well, no, I don't think so. And that's totally understandable. And then I said, well, you could join one of the online communities. So like this one or another group that you might be more comfortable with. There's so many out there that I know it's not quite the same as it being in the same room, but I try to make it as good as we can. As good as we can. Does that make sense? Crochet has infiltrated the knitting club. Oh my gosh. I don't like the whole crocheters versus knitters thing. I don't understand it. We all love yarn. So, we all love yarn. And why can't we just all love yarn together? It's a virtual craft club. Well, that's what I sort of think of the Fiberific Fun Zone. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks like that. Where everyone can post, everyone can chat, and it's like all crafts are allowed. We're all making awesome stuff. That's exactly right. Oh no, sorry, Nerdy Stitcher. I didn't mean that you were like anti-crocheters or anything like that. But there are, like, I don't know about that. Like, there's some groups here in Australia that are totally knitters only. Don't bother bringing your crochet hook, which is really disappointing. And like, there's Facebook groups that are the same. If you try to show a picture of your crochet in it, they'll just be like, this is a knitting group. If you want to show that, go join a crochet group. And you're just like, okay. I beg the library. Hang on a second. I missed a few. I realise that my mum isn't here. Wait till I speak to her. That's right. I expect you to rev up her. Maybe she forgot. welcome to the danger zone. I beg the library for a crochet club. And Crochet Clock says there's so many rules. Oh, I know. And some of the groups have got a lot of rules because they're massive groups and they need to sort of keep an eye on it. And I do understand that. But some of the rules about what kind of craft you can post, I just get a bit like as a crocheter before a knitter, I used to get frustrated at knitting photos. Not because I thought, oh my God, I just want crochet stuff. It was because, oh my God, I don't know how to make that beautiful thing. But I didn't get angry about it. I just went and learned how to knit. I won't go into a yarn store that's crochet friendly. Oh, hang on a second. I missed one. Marie wrote, wow, what snobs. And it's totally true. Kim says, I like the crochet groups where people post photos of knitting and asking what stitch it is. Yeah, me too. That cracks me up. We'd be like, not crochet. I won't go into a yarn store that's... Nerdy Stitcher says, I won't go into a yarn store that's not crochet friendly. And It's Crochet Clock says, because people can't act like they have upbringing. It is totally crazy, Marie. I agree with you. And it is. It's insane. We are all yarn lovers. And at the end of the day, we're making yarn with wiggly waggly sticks into... not making yarn with wiggly waggly. We're just like... we're just wiggly waggling sticks and making projects out of it using yarn. So why should people be against knitting and why should they be against crochet? I'm not a huge fan of mixing the knitting and crochet in projects, only because for me it's always looked wrong, and I think it might be how I do it. But I've seen some beautiful work where they mix the two together. Waving Harry Potter style, absolutely, Kim. Waving sticks and muttering magic and performing magic under our breaths. Marie says she loves stitching also. Look, you know what? I knit, I crochet, I cross stitch. I'm going to say I sew. Now, I sew badly, but I sew. And I long stitch, and I weave, and I do so many things. Hang on a second. How the heck do you crochet that way, Chantel? I try, but my hand says no. Well, that's the thing. All our hands are different, and we have to go the way our hands make us. Some people do this way, where it's like a pen, and that's how you think of it. You're holding it like a pen, like you're writing. And then some people hold it this way, like it's a knife. And I do both. Sometimes if I'm using a big hook, I use this way. But generally, I do it like it's a pen. But that's why there's so many ways to do stuff, because different hands like to do different things. Andrea says, I do crochet, knitting, cross-stitch, patchwork and so on, love all stuff crafty. Exactly. Normally, most of us cross over into somewhere else. And it's not a bad thing, except our husbands and families don't like the different stash piles for the different crafts. Casey says at the end of the day, it's all about sharing and being inspired. And I totally agree. And I think that that's what I try to do over in the Fiberific Fun Zone, is I try not to be too strict with the rules, because I want to make sure that everybody's having a good time talking about the craft they're passionate about. Marie says, I made a beautiful sweater with both knit and crochet for my granddaughter, and it came out great, and blankets that I knit and bordered in crochet. Oh, I do like that because it makes it nice and flat, doesn't it? My girlfriend is going to kick me out if I don't get yarn stuff under control. I have yarn everywhere. Totally, I know that feeling all too well. Notice it just says, you're so fast. I've been crocheting a really long time. And I also used to stitch for a designer, so you've got to work really fast to get this stuff done. And so it's just necessity is really what it boils down to. I do not knit as fast as I crochet, because crochet was my first craft, and it's what my hands are used to doing. Andrea says, I need more storage space. Andrea, I totally say grab some nice big crates during the Christmas sales, and bag and crate everything so you can stack, so it doesn't look like you're taking up a huge amount of space, because you're going up. The husbands tend to not notice it quite so much. Nerdy Stitcher says, I started knitting before I started crocheting. See, so you've learnt different skills first, so I bet you probably knit faster than I do. I was new to knitting and knew nothing of blocking, so that's how I worked it out. Yeah, sometimes necessity is the mother of invention. That's what I totally believe in that. That sometimes you just do what you got to do to get the job done. I've done that, but no more room for the tubs. Oh, right. Okay. Have you thought of vacuum sealing the stuff inside the tub so you can fit more stuff in each individual tub? I have a leaning tower of tubs. I have, in my bedroom, we've got this weird situation where our door opens the wrong way. So behind that door, I've actually got like a long chest of narrow drawers that's got all like mostly my cross stitching supplies and some beading stuff in. So that's in all the drawers. But then on top of the drawers, it's about a meter. It's basically wide enough for 3 rows of tubs. And then the tubs are, I think they're 50, I'd have to double check, but I think they're 35 or 55 litre tubs. And then I've got about 4 tubs high. So I've got about 12 tubs just in there. And that's just my stuff. That's not Fiberific stuff. My cousin hides her yarn in her kitchen cabinets where her husband doesn't ever go. That's where I hide the chocolate. I have yarn in a bin under my bed too. Well, I wanted the underbed space, but my husband and his family, more so my husband's family, they shipped him up all this stuff that they'd stored. And I'm not kidding, we now have crates of costumes that he wore as a child. And we just don't know what to do with them. Like, do we ditch them? I mean, they kept them for, like, he's 40. They kept them for years and years, and then they sent them to us, and we just go, right, bin, boink. So, like, what would happen is the second we binned it, someone would go, oh, do you have that little lederhosen that was made for you when you were 7 that your mum and dad shipped to you in 2015? And we'd be like, no, because we binned it. Because I can't imagine Abby ever wearing it. Abby's just over here like going, I have my beading tubs and cross-stitch stuff in the lounge. Material is stored under the piano, and yarn is in tubs in our walk-in robe. I have my material just in piles, and in you can buy these bags that are designed to take fabric, and so I have them stacked in that as well, just up on top in the craft room. Because I have a craft room as well. That's in my bedroom, but I also have a craft room. I've got so much stuff. I think we're all so much alike. I hold all my craft stuff. I can't help it. I know, me too. Because it's like you might have this little piece of ribbon left that was like you just use like meters and meters, but you've got this half like 30 centimeter piece and you're like, I will save that for something else. And you do. You totally hoard it until one day when you go through your stuff and you're like, don't want that, don't want that. And you're really like ruthless with it and you just ditch it. Hey, want to hear my funny story, says Nerdy Stitcher. Yes, we do. Get it coming. Joss is back. Hey, Joss. And Marie says, yes, exactly. I'm assuming exactly the keeping out 30 centimeters of ribbon or what have you that we probably never use and then just bin it in 5 years. Because that's what I tend to do. Yes, it's one of those things. So yes, Nerdy Stitcher, bring on your story. And I'll read it out as it comes through. So that those watching, because that's the thing, you guys, I'm trying to read everything out because this is on my phone. So when we replay the live stream, if someone comes back, what's coming up on the screen, it's not going to be there. So Nerdy Stitcher, okay, so back in 11 when I first started learning crochet, I started with Bethinkst 1. I don't know what that is, but yes, Bethinkst 1. Oh dear, I'm waiting. We're waiting for the story. Oh, Beth in Texas, crochet YouTuber. Okay, all right. Yep. Thank you for clarifying. Yep. Anyway, my first thing was a granny square. Yes. A lot of people think granny squares are easy, but they actually have a lot of techniques involved in your very first project. That's quite a good project to start with. Please tell me you still have that square, by the way. Sorry, just waiting for more of the story to come through. So I was concentrating super hard when I was with my friend at the coffee shop. Oh dear, this is going to be funny. No. She watched me and said, "Yep, you're a hooker." Oh no, please don't tell me someone's overheard that. Oh dear. I laughed so hard. Oh, it gets to that point, doesn't it? Where you're just like, okay, yes, I crochet now. Oh man. I don't know how I feel about the whole crocheters being called hookers thing. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But I think it's sad that it's got a second, like an ulterior meaning. Ulterior meaning, is that what I'm going for? A secondary meaning? My brain's not in the greatest place. She taught me the bistitchal credo. Fantastic. Mari has bought a notion bag that says I'm a hooker. Look, there's so much fun merch that plays on it, like seriously plays on it. And I love that. I do love it, but I just, yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of them things. So we've all got, so is everybody up to date with their Christmas craft? Have you all got them finished, or, because we've only got a few days. I don't get, is folks who are A-okay with being called a hooker but gets offended when someone posts a picture of a doll they've crocheted but haven't put clothes on. Yeah, I don't understand all that either. I worked for a designer who, for a long time, and she had designed this kid's top which would be perfectly fine in Australia. And so she had it modelled on a little girl in Australia. It was like a little girl's clothes. But she couldn't use that photos, like the photos she'd already had done for it, because in the US that would be considered bad. And so while in Australia it's fine, like it was completely covering everything, don't get me wrong, but the little girl had to be wearing a t-shirt underneath it for the US photos. It was really weird. I don't get it. I guess it's a double entendre. Yes, it is a double entendre. I suppose if you can make the doll, you can make an outfit. Well, that's true too. But sometimes getting the doll finished is like, that's the harder part, right? I'm just going to move my leg. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's still a crocheted thing that you finished. You should still be able to, show it. Because when I'm making toys, I can make all the bits of toys, right? I can do the arms, I can do the legs, I can get it standing nice, but the second I go to put a face in that thing, I destroy it. I don't know what it is. It's not real boobs. No, it's not, is it? That's the thing. And more often than not, they've none. It's a flatty. And it's just, half the time it's not even humanized colors. It's just, but anyway, I think that's an opinion that people have, and people are entitled to their opinions. But I do agree that I think it's weird that they're okay with calling themselves hookers, but they can't understand the work involved in a crocheted toy. But yeah. Anyway, so are you all caught up with your Christmas craft? Because where are we? What date are we? I don't know what date it is. It's Thursday, as far as I'm aware. That's it. It's just Thursday. Monday for us is Christmas Day. So have you all got your presents all sort of done and dusted? Oh, Nerdy Stitch has got our story. I inherited a giant granny blanket that was unfinished from another hooker. She was going RVing and destashing lots, so I tried really hard to match her gauge. I had to upside to my hook slots. Yes, I've done work for a different designer where I had to go from, her pattern would say a 3mm hook, and I would have to go up to nearly a 6mm hook to get her gauge because of the style that she crocheted. So even though there's different ways to hold your hooks, like this or like this, there's also different ways to use your hook. So you can actually be a person who rides along the top of their stitches, or a person who works in front of their stitches, and so your stitch heights change, and so it may not actually technically change. You may not technically need a different, like, they don't need the bigger hook. Abby is now out of her pajamas. She's popping in for a Christmas. Hello, where's your Christmas hat?
Oh, sorry.
Here.
No, that one hurts my earballs.
It hurts your what?
My earballs.
Apparently she has earballs. Doll faces, I often just do the eyes, and children better image. Oh, hang on a second. with doll faces, I often just do the eyes, then children can better imagine different emotions. That's actually a really good point. Mara says, I didn't realise it happened here about the undressed doll. Doesn't bother me. I misunderstood the conversation. Sorry, don't worry about that. That's fine. Nerdy says, she came back to the yarn group one more time. She saw me working on the Afghan and remarked that I had to upsize my hook, so I must be a tight hooker. She smirked and said, oh, dear. Kim says, yankers versus riders. Absolutely, that's what it is. Because being a yanking hooker is so much worse, isn't it? Nerdy says, I'm a loose hooker. I about died laughing. Apparently, the more experienced you are as a hooker, the looser you become. And I think that's the case because you're moving so much faster, you're not pulling all your stitches so tight. Here we go. She's Christmasified now. The glasses, you've got your other glasses on. You can't have them. That's all right.
Yeah, sure.
No, they might damage your proper glasses. All right, Abby's popping in to say hi, everybody. Sup. Are you kidding me right now?
That's my glasses.
Crochet humor kills me. Abby, you need to just move in just a little bit because you're all blurry in the corner there because the camera's over here. Abby's got her new glasses on, you guys. She's coming in. Murray's saying hi. Sup. Are you just trying to be cool in your crochet scarf? In your Christmas scarf?
Crochet.
Actually, do you guys know that I like Rhett and Link, right? They're another YouTuber channel. They've done a Christmas butts thing, which you guys need to go and watch. It's totally hilarious. Weird. Nerdy Stitch is saying, hey kiddo. Murray says you're looking good. Andrea says she loves the glasses.
What they say in the yard.
You right?
I'm stuck. I'm choking.
You're choking. She's being killed by Christmas.
Now my black shirt isn't black, it's gold.
Abby's now regaling the glitters on her shirts. Andrea's loving your glasses. I think I already said that. It must have just flashed back up again. Come on, Hook. Get through the little hole and come out. There we go. What have you got? Oh, now she's got a thing on her head. Guys, I can't believe how long we've just been chatting about all sorts of things. We're getting really good at it, aren't we? Where we can just talk about everything. We've talked Christmas food. We've talked crochet prudes. Looking good and seeing very well, I hope. Watch out, I've got a coffee cup behind you there.
Coffee!
Are you seeing better with your glasses? Yeah.
Not really.
Kim's got new glasses too. I'm waiting on my new glasses. My prescription dropped by 3. And apparently that's quite common when you're long-sighted and hit 40. So
mine went up by how many?
1. They just made it from should we get our glasses to yeah, it's time to get our glasses. Yeah, so apparently when you're long-sighted, I mean, I've never heard of this before, but yeah.
I'm long-sighted.
Kim says, but they're for distance, so you won't have to see me wear them. Well, me and Abby are for distance as well. So, but we find that the distance ones help when you watch TV, when you're driving, and when you're in a crowded room and there's people at the back of the room. So, it makes it so you don't have blurry faces to deal with. Notice Stitcher says she's nearsighted. So that's like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, ours are for distance.
Now I'm not the only one in the family not wearing.
Yeah, Abby feels more included in our family because we've all got glasses now.
And at least one broken bone.
Abby's wrist, she should be able to take her wrist guard off soon.
Next week. 30th of December.
So that will be good.
Is that 31 days in December?
30 days says September, April, June. Yes, 31 for December. I have to do that every single time. It sounds ridiculous, but I totally have to run through the row in my head every single time.
When you were older, your close-up vision deteriorates and distance
vision improves. Yeah, that's what's happening with me. It gets worse as the years, same as when you're far-sighted, and it gets worse as the years go on. See, that's the opposite for me, Marie. My long-sightedness is getting better as I get older. So, because it used to be really bad. Like, oh, look at this. There's an entire... Can you see that? You can't see that. That's a hair that I've just pulled out of my crochet. Oh, Abby. Now you've got earballs.
My earball.
So, have you guys checked out the YouTube video that I made last Christmas on big Christmas baubles? So that's a fun one if you need any last minute decorations or quickie gifts. It's because it can cover little balls or big balls.
That's not wrong.
Have you got one there? Oh, there you go.
This
There's
one's got
one.
beads in it.
I went a bit hardcore with that one. So it's got beads and it's using finer cotton and was just like, what can I do to make it pretty? You can pull that away now. Thanks, honey. I'm 43 and I can't see distance well at all. Yeah, see, I'm 40 and that was an issue. That's true, but then my closer vision is dwindling. I haven't noticed any changes with my closer vision yet, but I'm sure it'll happen. I'm under no illusions. I'm going to end up needing another pair of glasses. And Marie says that the baubles are so pretty.
Thank you.
And I think they are too. That's why they made it onto the Christmas tree.
Oh, I thought you meant onto
I'm as fussy about decorating a Christmas tree as I am about trifle. I've got, you got to have stuff. You got to make it just right.
Very bad connection.
Yeah, we keep dropping in and out. I don't know what the deal is because according to my system, I've got like the best upload speed I've had in months. So I don't know what the deal is, but anyway.
Wi-Fi's still there. I'm just
I know. Hello, Wi-Fi.
Hello.
But yeah, so I want to finish my goals. My goals is by New Year's, finish this blanket. Because I'm over it. And then I want to finish my little 2 at a time sock thing. Because I just need to do the toes and get that done so I know I did it. So that's done.
Can I ask a question before it ends?
Yes.
What is your New Year's resolution?
Do you have New Year's resolutions? That's actually a really good question.
Mine's to be more organised.
Oh, there you go.
That was mine last year.
Yeah, but you failed last year, so you can try again this year.
Yeah. And to be a teenager next year.
Yes, you turn 13, don't you? Abby's keen for 13 because then I can't stop her from getting her own Facebook account.
And that means you can't stop me from going to the shops with my friends.
Oh my goodness, it's taken me all this time to do one round of this silly cardi. I still haven't done a round in the green on this yet, and I started it when we started when you guys saw me doing it on.
This one just hates me, this one.
Marie's, oh hang on. Crochet Clock says lol Chantel, bah ha 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 ha. Marie says I'd love to actually finish anything that I start next year. I know that feeling really well.
I think your goal should be feed the fish more.
They get fed every day.
I know, feed them more.
They don't need to be fed more.
Well, there's
don't pick on me.
There's dead fish in there.
There's not dead fish in there.
What about that catfish looking
It's already gone. I hoiked it.
Oh, you hoiked it. I thought that
Nettie Stitcher says, I think I need to knit a lot of pairs of socks next year. I am totally planning on knitting myself some more pairs of socks. Because I got my docks to fit me nice now, and I want some longer socks to wear in them than what I can get. So I want to make myself some nice long socks to wear under my docks. So,
I can fit in her shoes.
Yeah, not for long because your feet are going to keep growing. Ha 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 ha. Keep your feet, Abby, no, don't. They're really dirty.
No, they're not.
They're filthy. Look at it.
Look, please.
Don't bother putting your foot up to the camera. It's gross. I missed what someone said then. Hang on. Nerdy says, I have so many goals for next year that they would flood the chat. You're not going to be overwhelmed by your goals? Because I have like a big goal that has lots of little goals involved to get to the big goal, so that I feel like I hit little milestones and then go bam. Because I've got quite a few goals. Some of them are health based, some of them are craft based, some of them are like house based. Like I got lots of different goals, but I do try to keep it under like certain umbrellas, if that makes sense. And also only things that I can control, because I've done that before. Had these goals that were like, oh, I wanted, this to happen and I want this to happen, but I had zero control over how to make it happen. And obviously when you fail, you feel like you failed, and you've just got to make sure your goals are something you can control. I'd love toe up, and Kim says you need toe up. Yeah, I like toe ups. Croatia says the one big huge goal, but it consists of several others. I picked up tutorials for another cowl today, so now I have 2 while working a full-time job and being a mum and keeping up with my other content. Totally understand that one. I've got some goals I've got 1, 2, 3 so it's 1 knit along and 2 crochet alongs that I've got to film for everybody because I've got approval and I've just got to dye some yarn for them and all that sort of stuff. See, Andrea, that's a goal that you can't control. You can't control if you win Tats Lotto or not so that you can get a craft room. Are you wasting all the stickers?
No.
Okay. I totally understand the wanting to need a craft room for sure.
Get away, bird!
Marie says, right, little goals that are really attainable, no more stressing it. Yeah, so you've got to give you, like, this is like totally my opinion, and it could totally be wrong, but you've got to give yourself some small victories, and sometimes a small victory can make your day, and even if one day is made, that's good. If it makes your week, even better. Kim's goal is to try not to kill anyone next year. That's an excellent goal, Kim. That's an excellent goal. Yes, I don't really know what to say about that.
Like mentally or physically?
No. She had pictures of bloody baseball bats.
Oh.
She's talking about literally killing people.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, not figuratively.
I
literally.
think you need some help. Stop it. Get some help.
This is my daughter, everybody.
Get that, I'm taller than her.
Really? She's not. She's like fully a foot shorter. Real life is what it's all about. So one project and one day at a time. And Andrew says you didn't kill anyone this year yet. So she could be up for 2 years in a row. That's brilliant. You could be, and like if you make it to 3 years, you've got the total hat trick. Jeez.
Streak.
That's
3 years
terrible.
killing streak.
Oh dear. I'm like, seriously, where is the stuff? I'm not even halfway around. Oh no, I am. I'm over half. There's the other end there. Oh, I'm not going to make it before the end of the chat because the chat should have ended 2 minutes ago, people.
Oh no, she's over time.
I'm over time. Oh gosh. See, small and achievable. She's on a roll. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, because I'm over time, it is Christmas, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. And you could always just leave. You don't have to be here. There's no like punishments for not being here. Andrew says that we can't leave yet. And Crochet Clock says time flies when you're having fun. Totally flies when we're having fun. And we have had fun. We've talked recipes for Christmas. We've got some ideas for Christmas beverages. We've been talking about whether everyone's got their Christmas craft done, although I don't think anyone actually answered that. Is that because you haven't got your Christmas craft done?
I haven't started. I don't do Christmas craft.
Abby doesn't do Christmas craft. She doesn't like the pressure.
You should do like Vlogmas art. Like one day you do one crochet thing and then like it's a small project.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll do Vlogmas, which is a...
Can I do it next year?
It's a YouTube thing where you post every day over Christmas.
Or the 12 days of Christmas when you start on the...
Okay, so the 12 days of Christmas doesn't actually start till Christmas Day and then runs for 12 days after Christmas.
I thought it was started before.
No, it's not. It's after Christmas.
Last Christmas.
Where are we at? Marie says it surely does, and I'm assuming you mean towards the time flies when we're having fun. Crochet Clock says we didn't make anything for Christmas. Oh, everyone's chatting now and it's moving too fast. I'm all done with Christmas crafting, says Nerdy Stitcher, except the Christmas cross stitch along. I want to finish a sock. Crochet Clock says, oh good lord, Vlogmas. So are we on for Crafters tonight? Totally. Caffeinated Crafters is on. We are there.
And I'm going to be there.
And Abby will be there also.
Of course.
Joss says, I've got one more tea-towel topper to finish tonight for a Chrissy Prezi. I'm so proud of you getting so many toppers done. I would have stabbed someone in the face by now.
Talk about
Marie says, thanks so much for the live stream and much fun. Much fun. Good to see you too, Abby. Have a great Christmas, Marie.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Caffeinated Crafters is totally on tonight. It's at the Browns Plains
Village
Coffee Club. at 6:30. So see you
What's
there.
the postcode?
I don't know. They can look it up.
Something.
Okay, I'll see you there. The kids are starting to chew my limbs. Better feed them. It gets a bit like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope you have a fantastic.
Merry Christmas, Nerdy Stitcher.
I hope you all have fantastic Christmases, whether it's with family or hanging out,
or doing nothing.
just being, crafty.
Are we gonna have a live stream after Christmas?
I don't know.
No.
We will see you all next year, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say. We'll see you in the new year. Bye.
Bye.
I can't see.